short and sweet note to start the short and sweet blog. You saw all my tiny books, but this vlog is about tiny stories or short stories. It's easier said than done. I always, thought that I couldn't write short stories. I don't know why. I always thought that, okay, I should write my great novel first. And recently I started writing short stories and I've regretted it. It's like, why didn't I try this earlier? So what's a short story? I think all of us know. It's typically around 1,000 to 10,000 words, something within that length. There are lots of short stories that we love to read over the years, so I picked up a few from my collection. My all-time favorite is the pocket book of O. Henry's stories. O. Henry is amazing, just in one page and he can do wonders. And of course, Jeffrey Archer. This is Cat o' Nine Tails, but his twist in the tail is like a classic. It's iconic. That's, some short stories. I don't know why publishers don't want to publish short stories, but readers love to read them. So there is some kind of oxymoron situation going on over there. There are lots of Indian short stories as well. Lots of people write short stories from Ruskin Bond to R.K. Narayan. And here's the Penguin Book of Modern Indian Short Stories. It's like an anthology or a collection. And an anthology is a collection of short stories in this case, right? So what is a short story? So the reason I used to fear it so much is that within this short space of words, you have to create some conflict. You need to have characters, at least a protagonist and maybe a few characters. And you need to have a beginning, middle, and end, all within, just a few pages. How do you do that? So you can't go into it in depth into the characters' motivations or give lots of descriptions of scenes like the way you would do in a longer novel. Things have to be set up very fast. Things have to happen very fast, even if it's something which is a mental or psychological kind of a story. And then it has to, have some logical conclusion or ending as well. So there you have it. That's a short story, typically dealing with just one event. But there are lots of kinds of short stories, and I just picked 10 that I thought I'd share with you just to get your juices flowing and start writing. It would maybe one of these spark an idea and you can write about that. So we talked about the regular short story, but there are nowadays with the social media, there's lots of much smaller stories coming into play, and that's called flash fiction. So anything from 300 to 1,000 words is called flash fiction or postcard. So anything which would fit into, a postcard. Anything below 300 words is microfiction. I don't know if you've seen the 6-word story challenges where you see a picture or some kind of a reference and then you just have to write a whole story in 6 words. And I did try it, and actually it did work at times. So it's a lot of fun. Try doing that. It's a very quick way of getting started, but sometimes you have to think a lot more to write less. Okay, and lyrical is something interesting. It's a recurring theme, something which keeps coming again. So, and that's the hook which ties the whole story together. I think there was a story called The Fly, and that was a recurring theme over there. Vignettes. So vignettes are just almost like part of a short story, or it's part of a longer story. So there is a longer story happening, you pause, and then you zoom in into either a description of a character or an event or a particular place. And after that's done, you zoom out. So just that part which has been zoomed in can be a vignette and stand by itself. We've all grown up with fables, stories with a moral, typically with animals or some simple figures. Aesop's fables come to mind. And in India, you have folklore like the Panchatantra, and then lots of vast and great folklore that we have over here. Fairy tales, I grew up reading the Raven Knights, and I really enjoyed those stories. So that's fables, things which are already written. Sometimes you can retell them in a modern way, so that's something to look at. So there is a story already existing. How can you, present it in a modern way? An anecdote is, of course, straightforward. It's like a story of a real incident that happened with real people. Something which you would sit and share at a party. Maybe it's, good enough to make it into a short story. Epistolary, this is, time-tested, kind of epic, writing a letter. That's what it is. And there are lots of human plays like that. I've seen some Hindi plays which, fall within this character, which use this norm, and it's quite interesting. Frame story is like a flashback. So you're setting the context. Again, it could be for a larger story or a larger novel, but it could be a standalone piece by itself if you write that. And how about a story sequence? Like a sequence of stories with something connecting them together, like a common thread or a common hook. It could be a series of stories which happen on a train, for example, or any train, so train stories. Now, if you see anthologies that I spoke about earlier, usually they do have some kind of a theme, and you have all the stories in that, related to that theme. So you can use a story sequence, and which is like a hook to anchor all your stories. A sketch story is you describe a character or a location. There's little or no plot. I mean, it's just mainly just a description of the character. And that's a great way to actually practice your writing skills. Just write in depth of just about one character or about just one place and a setting. So that would be a way to, even get started. So there you have it. Really short and sweet this time. And hope you enjoy and get started with writing something small and see how it goes. I'm going to start something exciting from next time. We're going to start interviewing some authors. The first author in the series is going to be Anu Anaya, the author of I Am in Denial, and you'll meet her next Saturday. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share, comment, and because you're going to see a lot more exciting episodes and themes coming up. And if you have ideas, do share them in the comments. I do read all the comments and reply to them at this point. So thank you so much for all your support. All the videos have got like 100 or more likes. My first one is just skyrocketing, still, getting close to 600 likes now. The numbers doesn't matter. It just gives me some small thrills, like this small segment about short stories. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and see you next Saturday.